Don't stop dreaming, dreaming. Keep on singing. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Standing tall. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Hello, welcome. My name is Shalia Michelet, and I am a singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, vocal coach, and a whole lot more. And this is...
And I'm Helmut Reiter. I'm a piano player, and I'm also a teacher. You will see this also in some of our other podcasts.
Finally, our very first podcast episode. We are proud to present That's What We Think, which is a podcast that we have developed in the form of video episodes, which we will post every week. Now, we will be speaking on different topics each week, and these topics are, for the most part, things that we are interested in speaking to you about. And we hope that you will like, comment, and share. And, oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to be able to stay informed about when we post new material. And we will also include other podcast videos on various music ventures that we are involved in under Backheads Music, Mr. Backheads. Okay. Also, I must mention that we will also post our video podcast introducing you to VBCT, Vocal Body Core Training Sessions, for all of you vocalists and musicians out there. So don't forget to check out everything surrounding this channel, and remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm sure you're going to enjoy all the video content that we have for you. So, without further ado, what is today's topic? Students, shall we yell out your grades? Is our school system enabling or perpetuating an atmosphere for some students to be bullied about their not so pleasing grades, or, as they call them in Austria, their notes? Helmut?
So, Julia, let me start. It just came to my mind when someone told me, just to say a name, Claudia has a 5 in English and German. And that is what the teacher basically yelled out in the classroom in front of all students. And it made it look like Claudia is not the smartest one in the class. I remember that since this thing is since forever, I don't know, forever in our schooling system. But I must say, how come that all those school psychiatrists and teachers never thought about that this lays the groundwork for mobbing? Kids are running around with their grades written on their forehead. Is there some kind of data protection or privacy or impartiality towards other subjects and teachers? I mean, for each picture that you want to take, you have to ask for permission nowadays. But this is an obvious emotional situation for a child, and there are no limits. Yes, I know it was always like this, and therefore no one cares except that kid, that one kid. It only need to be one kid. But I heard from you that that's not everywhere like this.
Well, no, it's not, but I do believe that teachers in any school who announce student grades before the whole class, it can leave the students feeling embarrassed, ashamed, humiliated, and sometimes, in some cases, targeted.
Yeah.
And just the overall feeling of being harassed or bullied. Now, maybe I'm speaking too harshly. I don't know. But we've heard a lot of I guess, stories about this in Austria. I can say to what you first asked me, it really didn't happen to me that way. And when I was growing up, where the teachers would call out the students' grades. That just didn't happen where I lived, and that's not something that I experienced or even heard of until maybe it may happen in some universities or colleges where that they will post your grades outside the room. But that was back then. We're living in 2022.
I know.
And so, in this age where you can do everything from sending it through their personal email, and sometimes they have these things called teams, where each individual students are able to get their personal private information. And that would cut down that feeling of humiliation,
Exactly.
So I guess what I should say is the side I stand on is the side of the child that may not feel as if they have a voice in this matter, or they feel bullied.
They don't have a voice. This is exactly the point. That's where the bullying starts, the mobbing starts. We say mobbing in Austria. And to this whole thing, how it came about, I think, a lot of things became controversial these days. A lot of wording, especially in the German language, has changed to avoid gender and race equality. But not everyone likes this. They say it was always like this. Why should we change it now? And there we go again. Make the good old times great again. I don't see so much good things in that old times. And first of all, just like you said, we are not living there anymore. Life goes on. We are always evolving. If you want or not, people and countries are growing together. And to make that possible, things have to change. And so should the schooling system as well. I know there are there are a lot of problems in our schooling system, especially here in Europe, especially here in Austria. But I'm afraid that this one was not really noticed very well till now.
Yeah. Well, I believe that it's wrong for any person of authority in school or otherwise, in my opinion, to, I guess, invade someone's privacy, because that's how I would feel. If that had happened to me, then, and someone is in school and they're saying this one has a 1, which everyone should know that in America, an A is a 1, a B is a 2, C is a 3, and so on and so on. So when you get to a 5, you basically know that you have a flag, an F. And I would be kind of ashamed. And I would feel very, very much in the current climate that we live in, that someone is kind of like, invading my protection, as you call it, my data protection.
Yeah.
I believe it's a form of data. It's information, and it's information that I believe should be protected. And so, yeah.
I think now it's time for a little advertisement in our own course.
Centering the mind. Think of something, someplace, someone with whom you feel safe, or where you feel safe, comfortable and at peace. Close your eyes and go to that place. Breathe in deep.
Vocal Bodycore Training. Jetzt für ein kostenloses Kennenlernen anmelden.
Okay, we are back. I heard that teacher have to announce the grades in front of the class.
Yes, I heard that too.
But I'm not so sure if that has to be in front of the class. I think they have to announce it. Yeah?
Exactly.
It has to be announced to the child.
Yes.
I think that could be done, just like you said before, in a little bit more private setting. Like the teachers have now the possibility for the use the internet. Every student has their, at least in the higher classes, has their own account, and in which the teacher can communicate with them. Thank Microsoft and Apple and whoever.
I think to me, it's just like you. I have informed myself that here in Austria, and I can't speak for every school, but the schools that we've attended, they practice this about doing the quick thing. I think it's just about being quick, calling out, Peter and John, and you have a 1, 1, 5, and then the next class comes in, the next teacher comes in for German and for English. All of them at a certain time, at grade time, has to do this procedure of informing you. But like you, I feel like it's the way that you do. It's about respect. It's respect and it's privacy. So I guess that's the data part, which I'll touch on in just a little bit. But I think it's just the decent thing to do for maybe a teacher to call the student up and tell them what they have and how they can improve. I think this is more of a learning experience, if I'm not mistaken. Teacher should
You're totally right.
stand for something.
What happens with these kids in the school? They go to university. What do they become? Some of them, not all of them, become teachers. And they go back to school and they teach the same way as
the
what
cycle.
they learned. Yeah.
And I just, for me, it's a more respectful way. If you have something that I deem is more of my property or my data, my information, I would hate for a doctor to yell out what disease I have.
Exactly.
You know, but I know that they're bound by different oaths and things like that. But I think teachers should work within that same frame of mind, because you never know, in my opinion, who is before you. You may have a student who is more fragile, or who is going through other things that teacher may not know about. You know, the teachers are not there to tell the student the things that they're doing right. They're there to tell you everything that you're doing wrong. And if you get a 5, if you don't want that called out, then maybe get a better grade. And, you know, but there are those ones that mess around and they don't get their good grades. But maybe there are those ones who try everything that they can within their power to get that good grade, and still to be kind of slapped down. And then the final slap is calling it out. And then the next class comes and they call it out. And you could be sitting on 2 or 3 5s and all the other kids are laughing at you or making fun of you in some kind of way. They devalue you. And they're saying, because you're making this grade, you have less value. And I think it just takes a lot more respect and a lot more thought in the teacher's mind. Just slow it down. Get to know each one of your students, not just by the things that they do wrong, but the things that they do correctly. I am sure a lot of students will respect that teacher more. And so why don't you speak on some of the things that maybe would be like more of a lesson or a suggestion? That's the better word.
Yeah, the suggestion is I think that teachers are not aware of that. Simply, it's just they're just not aware of it. I think that you have to talk to the head of the school, to the director, to the dean, how you say, and make him aware that, just like I said before, that if one child from 100, that's one child too much who really feels that way, you know, and this can be simple eliminated in talking to the teachers, make them aware of the situation, that there might be a possibility that kids get mobbed because of yelling out their grades.
You know, it's something, because we have a saying, at least the circles that I ran in, is that no child left behind. And that's for any reason. You try to do, teachers and educators should try to do everything they can so that the child moves forward. You know, and I understand that it is not easy in today's world, where the teacher is kind of combating the whole social media, the phones in the classroom, tablets, and all of these things that are attractive. They're like eye candy, and everybody wants to get a piece of this eye candy and everything like that. But they should also be aware that there's a such thing as the GDPR, which stands for General Data Protection Regulations. And it's holding schools accountable for how the schools and the teachers, because they're within the school, accountable how they present themselves learning-wise to the students. And if I stand corrected, then I will be corrected. But I believe it's also in the EU, which Austria is a part of, you know.
But I'm sure that this little episode, what we are talking about, is not in there. This is something that's overseen. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
No, but it's tragic then, because it is in the law, you know, of the EU structure. It is within that law about your data being protected, and in the school. But what I think the problem is that maybe this law only applies to what some people consider data.
Data, that's the point. So, but you said it before, you know, medicine, you don't want to be yelled out what your medicine situation is. This is considered data as well. And my medicine situation would be the same situation.
Wouldn't that be a horror if the pharmacist says, hey, you need to get some blah, 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 blah for your erectile dysfunction? We're laughing, but that would be like,
exactly.
You're not going up to the counter.
And everyone sees that this cannot happen, that it shouldn't happen. That's clear, and of course it's funny, but
it's kind of.
This is a similar situation.
I must say that in being here in Austria for some time, I have noticed that it seems to me that teachers. I don't know all the teachers, but some teachers they take their job seriously, but they go beyond that. They become the police teacher. And what they say goes, not only goes, but they're not interested in another view. They're not interested in a suggestion, especially not from parents. There is no contact from parent to teacher and teacher to parent. They, in the upper grades, they feel like your child is old enough to speak for themselves and this, that, and other, et cetera, and there is no contact. And when you, as a parent, contact a teacher, or some of them here, it's kind of a rude awakening, and I do mean rude, and I have receipts, okay? Because if I'm coming pleasant and asking about a grade of my child, then I expect to be pleasantly, responded to. If I'm respectful, I expect that same thing back. But sometimes that's not the case. It seems like some teachers, I want to really put that out, so don't all you teachers come at me at once, because I'm only opening up the conversation. And so if that's provocative, then I'm a provocateur. Okay, I'm provoking thoughts. Okay, and I'm not trying to just chronically complain. I'm trying to provoke the thought and start the discussion so that educators are made aware that this is happening, for one thing. This goes on, and there's a better way. That's unkind.
That's why I said.
Okay.
You cannot leave it up to the individual. Some do this already. Some teachers see this as a problem, and they do it exactly that way. But as long as there's no directive from the head of the school, a lot of teachers will not be aware of that, and that's where it have to go. I think. So just like you said, it's not all teachers, but some of them, and these some will never see the problem because no one tells it to them. That's why.
That's why we're talking about it, and hopefully, you out there can tell us your opinion. You can comment, and I hope you like it, what we're doing, and you can share it.
And
subscribe.
Exactly. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, and all of these, because I think this is a bigger topic that has legs that can branch out into. And by no means, I think, are we trying to attack any kind of educator. We're just suggesting,
they doing an utmost of important work.
Of course they are.
That's what it is. But of course, with this work comes a big responsibility as well.
And accountability. It's a responsibility.
And there, some stuff has to be discussed and has to be talked. So let's put your comments down there below.
Because we're just talking about that's
what
we
think.
And that's what we think. So this will do it for this episode topic. And please join in the conversation. Join in each week. We're going to post one video each week on whatever topic. I may talk about my hair.
I won't.
I'll be talking alone. Okay, no, just things that come to our mind. And so that'll do it for us.
Okay.
Enjoy.
We see you next time.
Don't stop dreaming. Dreaming. Keep on singing. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Standing tall.